You know, this girl in my sorority, Tracy Marcinko, got a perm once. We all tried to talk her out of it. Curls weren't a good look for her. Thankfully, the same day, she went to a field day at Theta Delta Pi where she was completely hosed down from head to toe. Chutney, why is it that Tracy Marcinko's curls were destroyed when she got hosed down?
Because they got wet.
Exactly. Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you are forbidden to wet your hair within the first 24 hours at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate? Well, the people over in Nebraska need to check up on their perm maintenance knowledge, because in their state, it is illegal for a mother to give her daughter a perm unless she has a state license. Thankfully, they are preventing another Tracy Marcinko disaster. Kansas and Nebraska, Emalee Watson.
Cobb? Oh, Cobb. Why, hello. My name is Dorothy Gale from Kansas. Have you seen a little dog about this big? Looks a lot like Toto here. My, you look a lot like the traveler Cobb was with in Kansas. She said her name was Emalee and she's a rainbow girl from California. Emalee and Cobb went to Kansas to go to their grand assembly. The theme was, hold on to your hats 'cause life is a rodeo. When Emalee and Cobb got to Kansas, they were greeted by the Supreme Deputy, Mrs. Robertson, and the Grand Officers of Kansas. Emalee was shocked to see that the Grand Assembly floor, chairs, and most of the decorations were almost all white, even the Grand Officer dresses. Fun fact, none of the Grand Officers wore hoop dresses or hairpieces. Well, except for one girl. Kansas's new Grand Worthy Associate Advisor told Emalee that the reason she wears a hairpiece is because Emilee's grandee, Natalie, inspired her so much. After Grand Assembly was over, there was a big throwback dance representing Rainbow's 100-year anniversary. There, their Supreme Deputy announced the Grand Representatives, and Emalee even greeted her new counterpart, Caitlin, with the famous California Revelations hop. Caitlin and Emalee talked all night learning about each other's states. One of Caitlin's favorite memories is her assembly's annual Christmas meeting, where their Supreme Deputy reads how the Grinch stole Christmas and pass around presents every time she says the word the. Speaking of Christmas, Caitlin and her assembly volunteer at an exploration place where they host a gingerbread village, pass out materials, and help young kids assemble gingerbread houses. Traveling past the yellow brick road and over the rainbow to Kansas's sister state, Nebraska, Emalee spoke with her counterpart Beatrice, who used to be a member of Buena Park Assembly in California. There's no place like home. Beatrice told Emalee all about Nebraska Rainbow and their grand service project raising money for cancer research. In June, they have their grand assembly, and this year's theme is Stand Up, Stand Out, Stand Tall. At their grand assembly, they have all types of games, competitions, and awards. They have an assembly name tag competition, a scrapbook competition, and lastly, a ritual and team setup, where 3 girls compete for the fastest time to set up an assembly room for initiation, except no talking and no hand signals. I wonder if these competitions would impress the Wizard of Oz. Every grand assembly, they announce their year's new Miss Nebraska, who is a younger girl who helps bring in new members and spreads the word about Rainbow. Lastly, there is a Love and Service Award, where girls are recognized for showing their love and service acts of the year. Speaking of service, Beatrice and her assembly of Benson Diana host a winter ball fundraiser, have some fun Christmas parties, and sell desserts at their local Shriner dinners. Nebraska also adopts a highway and cleans it twice a year. Oh, there's Cobb. I've been looking all over for you. Well, I must be on my way. Thanks for the chat. We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz.